and welcome to the AI with Arun show. If you are a tech fan, I want to ask you this. How many times did you pick up your phone just to check the time, only to realize 30 minutes later that you have scrolled through four social media feeds and completely forgotten what you originally wanted to do? Be honest, I do it all the time. If you're not nodding your head, you're living the central problem that two of the most powerful people in tech, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and the man who designed the iPhone, so Jony Ive, are trying to solve. The history of computing is defined by massive shifts. First, we went from typing code to clicking icons. Then in 2007, we went from the mouse to the multi touch screen. And today we stand on the edge of the third great transition, moving from manually tapping screens to agentic delegation. We are entering the agentic era. This is the story of the ultra secret project, tentatively called IO products. It's not just a gadget, it's being built as a physical manifestation of artificial general intelligence AGI entering our physical world. This device is designed to kill the smartphone and it's being called the anti smartphone. Let's start with the diagnosis. So, why is the smartphone a problem? Both Sam Altman and Jony Ive share the belief that the modern smartphone, which was once liberating, has become an engine of distraction. Sam Altman summed up the user experience by saying, "It feels like walking through Times Square, a chaotic flood of flashing ads, notifications, and competing signals that completely fracture your focus." The goal of the new device is the exact opposite of Times Square. It is designed to restore a sense of peace and calm. Altman described the feeling they're trying to capture as sitting in the most beautiful cabin by a lake in the mountains. This device is not meant to replace your laptop or your phone right away. It's the third device intended to displace the smartphone as the primary way you interact with digital intelligence. The core value proposition shifts from engagement, which is the time spent looking at the screen, to utility, time saved by the agent doing the work for you. A project this massive requires three things: the brains, the body, and the bank account. This venture is founded on a tripartite alliance. So, OpenAI provides the model intelligence, the operator system, or the AI brain. Love from Jony Ive, they provide the design philosophy, the soul, the look, and the anti distraction mandate. And SoftBank, they provide the massive capital and silicon architecture. The acquisition strategy here was genius. Jony Ive set up a startup called IO Products Inc. in 2024 to secretly attract top hardware talent. Then in 2025, OpenAI bought that startup for a whopping 6.5 billion US dollars in an all equity deal, instantly internalizing a hardware division overnight. And here is the strategic kicker: SoftBank, led by Masayoshi Son, committed over $1 billion. dollars. Why SoftBank? Because they own ARM Holdings, whose chip architecture is essential. The device needs a custom chip, a system on chip SoC that can run AI processes using minimal power, milliwatts. SoftBank provides the blueprint for that efficient silicon power, ensuring this always on device can actually last all day. So, what does this cabin by the lake philosophy look like in a physical world? Jony Ive's entire career has been about reductionism, meaning removing buttons and seams until only the essence remains. For the anti smartphone, he took this to the logical extreme: the removal of the screen itself. This aligns with the concept called calm technology. Think of calm technology like this: your car's engine light only turns on when there is a problem. It does not constantly flash ads at you. The device should recede into the periphery and only engage your attention with the absolute necessary. The Johnny Ive has expressed disdain for devices that are like a dog wagging its tail in your face, constantly begging for validation and attention. He wants this to be a tool that you use carelessly, meaning effortlessly, without having to think about the technology. By removing the screen, you are forced to look up and engage with the world, not the gadget. If the device has no screen, the body itself becomes the interface. Now, this is where the design gets fascinating. Sam Altman said Johnny Ive's benchmark was that the object should be bite worthy. Yes, you heard that right, bite worthy. an object so pleasingly shaped and textured that you have a visceral urge to put it in your mouth. This suggests a dramatic departure from the cold, sharp edges of modern devices. We expect a return to organic, biomorphic shape like a smooth pebble or a rounded lozenge. It might use materials like high tech ceramics or bioresins that feel warm, unlike cold aluminium. Now, its size is rumored to be small, like the original iPod Shuffle or a small stack of credit cards. Without a touchscreen, how do you even talk to it? Now, the input will be a combination of, you guessed it right, your voice, obviously to talk to the AI, then gestures, subtle movements we make in the physical world, and a single mechanical action button. Jony Ive's signature move, providing a tactile anchor. Now let's talk about the brain of this machine, which is the agentic AI. Current AI, like the ChatGPT you use today, is passive. It waits for a prompt and then it generates text or code. It doesn't do anything in the real world. The OpenAI device is different. It's built on a new system called the operator. The operator is not just a chatbot, it's an agentic AI, meaning it's trained to take action and execute digital tasks for you autonomously. It's delegation, not dialogue. Now think about booking a flight on your phone today. It takes 10 steps. Unlock your phone, find the airline app, wait for it to load, enter the dates, confirm, etc., 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 and it goes on and on. With the operator, you simply speak the intent to the device. Find a reservation for four at a customized Italian place tonight. The device handles the execution entirely in the cloud without you touching a screen. A few seconds later, it whispers back, booked at Carbone for 8 p.m. You never opened OpenTable? This is the death of the traditional App Store model replaced by the agent skill model. So, how is this agentic AI capable of booking that dinner reservation? It uses something called the computer using agent model, which is called the CUA model. Imagine the AI is a highly trained intern sitting in a virtual environment and it has a virtual mouse and a keyboard. The CUA, the computer using agent model, has three core capabilities. First is perception. The agent can actually see the digital world. It takes screenshots of a virtual browser and identifies buttons and fields and forms just like a human sees a website. Second is reasoning. It uses complex logic known as chain of thought COT reasoning to plan multi-step goals. For example, I need to check the calendar, then search open table, then enter payment details, and so on. And the third, action. It autonomously executes the clicks and types needed to complete the task. For this to work, the device must be always on. Sam Altman says the device should know everything about you. This means the device is constantly listening via an audio buffer. For privacy, this is a rolling buffer only activated by a trigger. It also uses its camera for visual context. If you pick a product in a store, the device identifies it instantly and can whisper a price comparison into your ear. OpenAI is a software company and research lab. They don't know how to build a mass market consumer device, so what do? They executed one of the biggest talent raids in Silicon Valley history, effectively importing the hardware leadership team that built the iPhone. This is a story of a talent war. The most critical hire is Tang. He was the VP of product design at Apple, the wizard who engineered the iPhone and the Apple Watch to be so tiny and so powerful. He is now the chief hardware officer at OpenAI. His job is miniaturization, packing immense computing power into a tiny, wearable object that does not overheat. They also hired Evans Hankey, who succeeded Jony Ive in running the design studio at Apple. The specific disciplines of the engineers they hired in areas like computer vision, so the device can watch, and audio engineering for beamforming and noise cancellation confirmed the device is intended to be a highly complex ambient sensory system. This exodus caused major problems within Apple, which views this as a direct threat. The biggest enemy of this device is physics, especially battery life. This is the core engineering problem. The problem is the brain of the device. Where does the AI live? Cloud preprocessing. Running the full, most powerful agents like GPT-5 require giant servers. This gives you unlimited intelligence but introduces latency, which means lag time, and requires a constant internet connection. Now, running a small language model, SLM, directly on the device is instantaneous and preserves privacy but has limited intelligence and drains the battery quickly. The solution is a hybrid architecture. So let's talk about it. So let's talk about the reflex layer or the edge first. This small, low power chip on the device handles the basics like wake up word detection, hey AI, for example, and sensing the environment. It filters the data, acting as a gatekeeper. The next one is the reasoning layer, the cloud. Complex agentic tasks are securely sent to OpenAI's private cloud compute for execution. Ting Tan's team, using custom ARM silicon provided by SoftBank, must focus on aggressive power gating, keeping the device in a deep sleep until that reflex layer decides action is needed. Now, OpenAI is not the first company to try to build a post smartphone AI device. The path is littered with failures, and learning why they failed is key to understanding OpenAI's strategy. So let's look at Humane AI pin. It was slow. The laser projector was a gimmick, and the battery life was terrible. Crucially, it tried to replace the smartphone immediately, which was impossible. OpenAI learned, don't overpromise. Focus on quiet augmentation. Then there is this Rabbit R1. It promised a large action model, LAM similar to Operator, but it turned out the device was mostly running pre-programmed scripts. It was brittle. OpenAI's lesson, you must own the model. Because OpenAI builds the foundation GPT models, their operator is native and capable of genuine reasoning, not just scripted actions. And the biggest current threat is Apple intelligence. Apple is putting ChatGPT intelligence directly into the iPhone via Siri. But Sam Altman argues that as long as the AI is trapped behind a locked screen and logging mechanism, it cannot be a true always on companion. The OpenAI device is competing on friction. Its goal is to be faster and more present than a phone can ever be. So, if this device succeeds, the impact will be more profound than just technology. It'll be societal. It introduces the privacy panopticon into daily life. A device that knows everything about you must watch and hear everything. This raises the huge question, who owns the recording of your private conversations, the lawyer or the doctor? Is that data privileged if it's stored in OpenAI's cloud? This is also the bystander privacy problem. This is the glass hole effect that killed Google Glass. When you wear a camera and a microphone, bystanders don't know if they are being recorded. Jony Ive design must include clear social signaling, light or sound, to make the device recording status obvious. Finally, if the operator works, it completely destroys the App Store ecosystem. Uber Airlines and Yelp become back-end services. You don't need their apps anymore. You just ask the operator. This commoditizes the service providers and concentrates immense power in OpenAI, making them the new gatekeeper of all your digital intent. The team is also struggling with the uncanny valley, defining the AI's personality. If it is too human, it's creepy, the weird AI girlfriend problem. If it's too robotic, it's cold. The goal is a carefully tuned, helpful friend. So, where do we go and where are we now? The device is in the advanced prototype phase. Don't expect it tomorrow. The anticipated launch time is 2026 or 2027. This long runway is necessary for TAN to solve the physics barriers, for OpenAI to make the operator agent nearly flawless, and for Jony Ive to be perfecting the design. This period is the most ambitious consumer technology project since the iPhone. It's a massive bet by Sam Altman that intelligence, not screen time, is the future of utility. It's a bet that people are tired of screens and crave a return to the physical world mediated by a calm machine. If this works, it marks a definitive end of the smartphone at the beginning of the agentic era. The best way to understand the promise of the anti smartphone is this. If your current smartphone is a high maintenance personal assistant who constantly taps you on the shoulder with urgent tasks, the OpenAI device aims to be a silent, highly competent chief of staff who handles everything behind the scenes, only whispering the solution when the task is complete. With that, we come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Please support our work by joining us as a member. All you have to do is go to the bottom of the description of this video and you will see the link for becoming our member. And if you learned anything from this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back soon.